All right, there we go. All right, thanks everybody for being here. Coffee and Art now in the afternoon. And earlier today, I worked on this art journal page showing you what another things to do with your color book pages that you color and cut out, put them in your art journal. And I wanted to finish this page. Yay. Good. Nice to meet you. Sarah, I don't have your address. If you want to email me your address, I'll send you an art card. I don't think I've sent you anything before. I try to send every new person in my Ustream. I wish I could do it to all my every YouTuber too, but I can't. But if you're new in my Ustream and you're in my Ustream and get my email there, I'll send you an art card. Okay, so okay, yeah, the girls are talking about how to do some Twitter stuff. All right, so I wanted just to quickly finish this up because I really wanted to do work on a drawing for my sketchy group, and I talked about Sketchy app a gazillion times, and it's a group where people post their photos for you to use as a photo reference to draw from, and so I have one sketched out ready to go. Well, sort of ready to go, halfway sketched out. Just a dot, Joe, just a dot. Okay, so let me go ahead and finish this real quick, adding a little bit of, I think I want some water coming down behind. I got it coming down from the mountain here. Some water kind of coming down from the mountain there. But I think I kind of want, I got some paint there. Let me kind of see if I got a brown. My paint's kind of crusted over and dried since episode 1. But I think I want a little bit of water coming down. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I want water. No, I better not put any water behind her. I don't know. Maybe I'll just have it coming off this leaf here. And kind of, so you kind of get the idea that there's some water coming from the mountain and down into this little pool of water right here. Kind of like that. Maybe you could have it dripping over her foot. And her toes dipping into that water there. Something like that. Thanks, Rain. It's recorded, and of course it's not uploaded to YouTube till after I'm done today, and then I'll upload them. But thank you. And maybe a little bit more watery kind of stuff going on here just to make it kind of, the light kind of come across the whole thing. And right here in this little crevice of the book. Okay, so I'm going to kind of leave it at that. Again, I might need to kind of brighten up where this little fairy is pouring it out of that little buttercup. And it's kind of coming down like that. And then I need a little bit of a highlight on these. Let's see. It's too much blue. I need a little bit of just a tiny bit of highlight coming off the watch hands here so you can tell it's coming out of the mushroom thing here. Just a little indication. Doesn't have to be a lot. Something like that. Aw, thanks, Orla. Okay, so real quick now, I want to get a fluffier brush that I can pick up. Yeah, here with this one. Pick up some pink and some water. My paint's all kind of really drying out now. Maybe just a little bit darker. And I just want some watered down paint here just to kind of splash in the tree. A little bit more water. Just want a little bit of more something going on in the tree. Something like that. And then carry down this, carry down the teal just a little bit so you can kind of see water coming down. And then a little bit more white, just for a little bit more, maybe a little bit more cloud here and there. And also want to put a little bit of fog, like some mist. I want to make it a little bit of mist here and there. Don't want to go too much. That needs to be smaller right in there. Make that cloud a little smaller. Just a little bit of hint of clouds coming across here. That's too much. I'll just kind of fog that one out. Too many. Maybe if it's going to need another one, it's going to need one right up in here. Just kind of like that. So they're kind of in the mist, kind of in a fog area. You don't, it's a misty fairy forest like. All right, so now I'm just going to take a little bit of white and maybe like right along some of the edges, just kind of mist it out a little bit more. Just a little bit of more misty areas like that. Come over a little bit on here, but I don't want to go crazy now because that'll smear. There's marker under that. Okay. Just kind of find some spots where I want the final little mist areas to be, and then we're going to call this one done. So sorry I didn't finish it up on part 1, but yeah. There we go. Need to kind of blend that in a little. I tried, ran out of time. Okay, so I'm going to call that one done. So I hope y'all kind of enjoyed using some color book pages. And again, could probably maybe make some water kind of splashing off for her, but I think just a little indication of it coming off the mountains and kind of like that, splashing in her little, oh, I did want to finish fixing her little hand. I'm going to have her, make her a little hand holding that little bit of, that little flower we glued in there. I'm going to want her to look like she's holding a little flower there. I'll fix her a little hand up later. So, all right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Packer Die. So I think we'll move on to the other project now. So hopefully you can kind of see. I'll try to think about taking a picture of it and getting it posted somewhere. But for now, you can just kind of see a way you can use your color book pages. Let me show you quickly, like a, where's one I used a color book page? Where's my giraffes? That's always a good one to show. Here. So again, this one was done the same kind of way. These are some giraffes from a different color book, and we incorporated them into an art journal page. Got a couple of steampunk ones. Let me try to get back to, I got a girl in a kimono I'm working on. That'll be blended into a story there. And I got 2 steampunk ones and a fish that I've used color book pages on. Just to kind of show you, and here's one with clip art that's not colored yet, but you can use your clip art. Here's one with the fish. These little fish were in a color book, colored them, cut them out, and incorporated them into an art journal page. Just so you can use them, you know, with your other mixed media collage. Here's some clip art. Here's one of the steampunk girls from the steampunk color book. And then I've given her some, it's not blended in or anything yet, but she's on here, got my background going, got, you know, lots going on there, but she's from the steampunk coloring book. And I got one more steampunk one, and then we will go on to the next project. This one. So this was out of that same steampunk coloring book. Cut them out, put them into the already, you know, had a little bit of collage and some paint and some stencil, some ink rather, you know, kind of like this. Then you go from there, put that on there, and then I just blended out, made a time machine here. With a clock and made a little door here, and just you know, kind of. Anyway, so there's what you can do with your color book. Bye, Carrie! Yeah. Well, you know, it's a way to use, we all are enjoying these color books, right? And so here's just another way for you to use them in your all. We already do art journaling and mixed media, right? We might as well be adding that in there too. Okay, so and this is just the Dilutions journal, the Dinah Reevely one. I haven't done anything on the covers or anything. Don't know that I will, but that's the book I'm working in for that. All right, so let me make sure I don't have any loose, wet paint anywhere. Trying to pick up a little before I go into the next, clean my hands off before I start working in color pencil. Hey, Erica, and anybody else popping in? Annabelle, did I say hi to you? All right, so this is a sketch I've started. Uh-oh. Let me make sure I get the paint off my fingernails and stuff, guys. All right, I think I got most of it. So I'll show you the photograph I'm working from. Again, this is a girl from the sketchy group. What you do is you post photographs. I'm not sorry, I bumped my head on the thing again. Hang on. All right. So what you do is you post pictures of yourself on the sketchy, and other people post pictures of themselves. And let me kind of get some brushes and stuff together here. Pencil sharpener. Need that stencil. Oh, I don't need that. Get everything together. Oh. Pull my pencils closer. Okay. Is it holding together well? Summer, fall. Oh, no, mine's holding together fine, Packer Die. My journals, yeah, I got two of them. They're both. Now, I will say this, and this is true of any hardback or any kind of glue spine journal. It's going to warp. See how it's warped? The spine is warping. And that's the same thing as if you're, like we've talked about, if you in a magazine journal, where you use a magazine to make a art journal with. You need to go from front to back to front to back, if you want to keep your spine correct without it warping. But I didn't do that. I'm just kind of, you know, I'm not being careful of the spine warping. But you can see nothing's falling out, but the spine will warp. Yeah, it's a good question. Good question. Okay, so I think we're focused here. The camera likes tan much better than it likes white. So let me show you the girl that I'm started drawing out. And again, oh yeah, I am recording. Again, I will probably not finish it 100% because I try to go from section to section when I do these kind of things so you can see different sections that I'm working on. But it never gets 100% done because it's more than 3 hours can do. 2 hours and 45 minutes actually that I can do in that quick a time. Okay, so, and I don't like to rush these, especially when I'm going to upload them to Sketchy. But this is the girl. This is the girl I'm going to draw. Her. Okay, now it's going to flash out again. Let's get it back. Get it all back here. And I draw from my iPad. I set her up right there. And here's where I'm drawing. This is a Strathmore. Let me find the cover. This is a tone tan 9x12 Strathmore pad. A lot of times I'll draw, let me show you one I've already done, or two. Here's one here I've done. Another one here. This is a new one. I pretty much filled up the last one. So there's another one. So just so you can kind of see. Okay. Questions about how do you access you go to, let me look at it, Joe, because I can't remember without looking at it. She's asking me how you find your the ones you've saved. Let me see here. I got to look at it on my phone. Okay, all right, you go to the plus sign. No, let's see. Yeah, hit the plus sign. You might have to do it twice. Okay, when you hit the plus sign, you'll get the Get Inspired or Inspire Artist. That's where you upload your picture. This is where you find your pictures. So it comes up. See, I have 21 in my, well, you can't see it, but it says 21 right there, Joe, in mine, and there's the ones that I have in mine. Okay, so yeah, you go to the plus, go to Get Inspired, and then at the bottom down there is your list. You hit your list, and your list will come up. Yeah, but you got to then, the plus sign's only going to bring you up all the recent uploads. You have to go to the bottom where you see like how many you have in your list. Okay? Yes, the ones you save for later. Plus sign, Inspire, and then the bottom, there's your list. Okay, so you can see I've kind of got her kind of sketched out here, very roughly. And I'll, you know, I have it light, so you may not be able to see all my kind of like gridded out, you know, just, it's not really gridded, it's just kind of like your basic dividing up your face lines. So that I can kind of just kind of map her out a little bit, because most of my mapping out I do with the white pencil. After I just kind of lay it out, then how I kind of really sketch it more detail is with a white pencil. Yeah, no, it's drawn right in the sketch pad. Y'all talking about this guy here. Yeah. I had so much fun with that hat. I love the way that the little eyes really came across as felt. Yeah. I had fun with that hat. That's why I drew him. I mean, he had a great expression too, and see his headphones under there. His little headphones are under the hat. I really had fun with drawing him, his eyes especially, but I really wanted to challenge myself with the knitted cap. Yeah, there you go, Joe. And then when you want to upload, all you have to do is find that picture again and click on the picture, and then it'll give you the option to upload on top of your picture, okay? So some of the lines here where I've, let me get a... kind of sketched it out a little, and I did it very light because I'm not, you know, I'm not heavy-handed when I sketch things out, but I'll probably want to get rid of some of my kind of line, you know, drawn in guidelines, if you will, because I don't want to have to go over, I don't want to have to try to go over that with a color, as little as possible. And these are my favorite erasers. I like the tri-tip, but any white plastic, you know, these are my favorite. And I put those on my, when I use those cheap technical pencils, let me see. Well, anyway, I use the cheap technical, you know, screw disposable. You just screw up the tip, HB pencils. And I put the white erasers on those too. I don't want to use... Thanks, Whippy. Whippy said that as a knitter and spinner, I did good on the hat. Thanks. I don't like to use red rubber erasers. Now, again, when I'm using color pencil and I kind of need, if I have to erase something with color pencil, it never erases fully, especially when you start layering and layering and layering. But I'm trying to find one here. See, I got my pencils right here, right next to me in a tray. The Ticonderoga with the black. Right here's one. The Ticonderoga, just plain old HB pencil, has a black eraser, and that's good if you really need to get in there on something. But if it's just a light sketch, like I kind of like just kind of mapped her out a little bit, then I can just kind of go in there with one of these. These are my favorite erasers. Okay. I never use a red rubber eraser if I can help it. Okay, got a little heavy-handed there with that. All right, so I think she's kind of sketched out kind of well, and you probably won't be able to see it much, but I want it light because I do the color pencil is what where I start really mapping it out. Okay, all right, so again, she literally has white hair with a little touch of like a little bit of maybe even a little pink. But what I'm going to do, and I'll do this with clothes, I'll do it with hair, not the face. I don't paint any paint on the face except after I've done the color pencil, like a little white highlight with some white acrylic in their eyes or something like that, you know. But other than the little bit of white maybe on the lip, other than the little touch of white acrylic paint on the face, no paint on the face. Don't put paint on the face if you want to blend. The hair and the clothes for me, especially for like, you know, something like you really want to concentrate on face, that it can be base coated with some acrylic paint, which is what I'm getting ready to show you here. But the skin, no paint on the skin. Yeah, okay, good, Paula. Yeah, I've not tried any other kind of black except the Ticonderoga black erasers, but Paula said the Prismacolor Scholar black eraser seems to work well. It's probably the same stuff. Just like these white erasers, they're probably all the same stuff too. I just found that red, now not as much on tan, but on white paper, a red eraser can leave red marks. Okay, the black Ticonderoga just is a little scruffier. It's a little, maybe that's why Prismacolor has their own brand of black eraser, because they know it erases the best for color pencil. But just for general erasing, whether you're just sketching, drawing, whatever, I just like this is a General's tri-tip, and I like it because you can move it around to different sides. But when it starts, it goes kind of quick. Actually starts wearing down kind of quick. Maybe that's why it works so well. I don't know. But it doesn't leave, it's not like a rubber, like it doesn't leave those crusty rubber bits. Paula, no crusty rubber bits. But it does seem to wear down quick, and then it'll start to break when you get about halfway down. I don't have a lot of these. Anyway, okay. So let me go ahead, and I'm going to get a dry. I'm going to get something here that's dry. I don't want to use one of the colors accidentally getting mixed in here. But I'm going to use black and white. So, and again, she has like some kind of a little bit of gold, yellow, maybe a little pink, kind of highlighted areas in her hair. But I'll do all that with color pencil. All I want to do now, I'll get enough out of there. All I want to do now is just put the base coat in her hair and her clothing. So I just need a touch of black and white just to do that. Okay. I figured you'd like that, Paula. Let me move those trays out of the way so I don't accidentally get in them. And I just keep a handful of brushes right close, although I got 4 different jars and a big box of brushes, just depending on when I go through them and clean them out. I could probably use that one for her hair. Again, I wet my brush just because you don't want to stick a dry brush in your paint. It'll ruin your brushes quicker. But I'm dabbing off all, hear that? I'm dabbing out all the excess water on a paper towel. No excess water, but the brush is not so dry that it's going to hurt it when you put it in the paint. Okay? All right, if y'all got any questions, put them in caps. All right, so a lot of times the sketchy pictures, the girls, it doesn't show the top. Well, I say girls, the guys too. I had to invent the top of that guy's hat because they seem to, get good selfies, but their heads are chopped off. So usually what I do in that case if I don't know how tall their foreheads are, I don't know how their hair is, unless I just want to make it up, which I've done that before too. I've spiked guys' hairs and done different things. But if I really don't know what's up there, because the picture ends right there, then what I'll do is I will just stop the picture there too. I don't worry about up there. I'll just photograph it right here. So I'm not really concerned about the top either, since they weren't. It's just when I go to photograph the drawing I do, I'll just cut that off. In other words, I'll just post from there to there. Even though, you know, it's not finished up there, I don't care. So anyway, so her hair kind of comes around out this way. And she has a lot of little flyaway hairs. I'll do that with color pencil. Hopefully I'm zoomed in enough. Hopefully, you know, maybe when I get down to some eyes or something, I'll do what I did Monday. Take my camera off the overhang and put it right here so you can see real close up. Okay? Maybe we'll try that because I am trying out different angles with what I got here. You know, just to be trying out some different things. And I'm not trying to necessarily get this all like solid. I'm kind of leaving it kind of, although right in here, her hair is so flashed out in the picture, it looks solid white. But you don't have to do everything just because, I mean, I guess really the idea for Sketchy is people post their pictures for you to draw, whoever inspires you. You don't necessarily have to copy it exactly. I try to make it look as much like the person as I can, but if I don't get every little hair, I don't worry about it, you know. Okay, so again, I can't see past right about here. That's about as far as I can see. And she has a braid over here. So I'm just going to kind of, I want to still do the braid, but I'm just going to kind of indicate where it is. I'll just dab it for now. Just kind of dab the braid in. I'll go in there and do the detail of the braid with color pencil, but I don't want to lose where that braid is. Okay, so again, dry paint, no water. And it's almost got a purple, you know, I think she has some pink and purple highlights and stuff on her hair because like in the shadows, it looks pink. So I might end up putting, you know, some of those colors in with color pencil. But she has a kind of shag cut. It's kind of shaggy. So I want to kind of make sure I kind of indicate that's kind of shaggy like that. Now, before I come in here with the hair right here, she has a black sweater on or some kind of a black shirt. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in first. Then I'll put the white hair on top when the black is dry. Okay. All right, so she has a black shirt. And again, the picture kind of ends right here. So you don't even really see what's over here, shoulder or whatever. So when I photograph this, let me see if I can see. Yeah, her hair comes right over here. I'll just, before I post it, I'll just kind of chop that off, that edge. Okay. All right, I'm going to have to get a smaller brush to kind of get in there. And again, over here, it's you can kind of see a little bit. I might just kind of put a little indication. I like kind of things like, I like my edges to be kind of rough and kind of unfinished looking like that. I just like that look. And again, it's going to be cut off right about there. So, all right. Now, let me hit that with the heat gun because I don't want to say I want to hurry, but I don't want to just sit here and wait for that to dry. And I certainly don't want to put my hand in it. Oh, well, let me get that area right in there. Let me get this shadow behind her face here. And she has, looks like blue fingernail polish. And then her shirt It's kind of like, you can see it behind her hand here. So I'm just kind of blocking in the solid areas that it'll get painted over. They'll get, you know, blend color pencil on top. Let's see, I think that's all the areas that, like that. Her hand is right there. You can just see a little bit of her sweater. Her neckline right there. Okay, so you have any questions? Anything? We good? Yeah. Hey, yeah, Sarah. I know. I don't know. You know, when it's coming to Android, they're talking about Sketchy app. But you know, they're just pictures that people have allowed you to draw them. But you know, you can do the same thing with your, you know, take a picture of your kids and, you know, get close up. And again, there's no water. Other than the damp brush, there's no water in my acrylic paints. It needs to be kind of up just a little, I think. I'll level her out a little. She looked a little tilty. A little tilted. Okay, so now going back with the white. Now that, let me make sure that brush is really clean. Okay. Go back here with the white and kind of fluff some hair. And again, I'll go in there with the color pencil, but I'm just kind of want to know where I'm going. And I got my iPad right there that I'm looking at her picture. I think I'll bring her hair a little over on this side. I'll get in there with that braid a little later. Okay, that's good enough. I mean, if it bothers you to draw somebody without their hair up there, I mean, you can draw it yourself. But just imagine that's where the picture ends. And I don't like, personally, I don't like to draw off the page. Like, I don't want her, I mean, if I had to, I would, rather than scrunch her in. But, okay, so there we go. All right, take a sip of coffee. Yeah, let us know. Packer Dye's going to test out your new camera. Congratulations on the new baby, the new camera baby, that is. Okay, so now I'm going to just go ahead and start. The other thing I like about the iPad, you can pinch and zoom in on areas. If I really want to get right up on her eyes, I can pinch and zoom, because, you know, I wear trifocals, so, you know. Okay, so hopefully I'm not too loud, because I know the camera's like right there. All right, so now I'm going to make sure I'm not sticking my hand in. Yeah, it's wet right there. Hang on. Let me hit that with the heat gun real quick. So the first thing I do when I do, and she does have a nose ring here too. Let me just kind of indicate that. The first thing I do is with the white is start finding my highlights when I'm working on tan paper. For me, it just is the best, easiest way for me to start to form her face. And it really, you know, I don't want to say it doesn't take long for me to do that, but it can if I guess it depends on how often and how much you draw. Okay. Let me go ahead and put her some white in her eyes so you can start seeing where she's going. So most of the drawing and everything else I do from here on out is with color pencil. That's how I draw her or anybody. All right. And another tip is, like, she has kind of a gray-green eyes. Even though you're going to do gray-green eyes, put a light coat of white on the pupil to pull back the brown. It'll make your eye color more vibrant if you have a little bit of coat of white on the pupil. Okay? Because if you just go straight with a the green or the gray or the light brown or whatever, it won't be as vibrant. Okay. I know people get a little creeped out when the pupils aren't colored in, but give me a minute, we'll get to it. All right, so I'm just going to come in here now kind of with the side of the pencil and just start kind of finding, and I'm you can't tell, but I am looking more at the iPad than I am at this. 80% of my watching is watching the iPad. Okay? I'm looking more at it than I am. And I'm doing a very light coat. It may look like I'm putting a lot of pressure on it, but I'm really not. Very light. Okay. Okay, I got a little bit of pencil here that I know I'm not going to be able to go over. Let me erase some of my pencil lines there. She has a very heavy blue eyeliner. It's like solid blue eyeliner on the lid of her eye. Again, I know I've said it before, but when you have heavy eyeliner, heavy lashes, like heavy makeup on girls, it's best, and sometimes I don't do it here because I'm kind of like trying to show y'all a whole bunch of different areas, but it's best if you don't do the black eyeliner, makeup, eyelashes, and all that until you've completely done the skin and the inside and the eye, the pupils and all that. It's best just like that's like your finishing touch to put the makeup on, because it's so easy to, let's say if I had the black eyeliner on now and then I get in here with the white to try to do the inside, to pull that black into the white. It's just best, you know. But she has like cat eye makeup on. But this is just a very, very light coat of white, just for to map out where the highlights and everything are. It's just, I like just to get it all, kind of know where I'm going. Okay. But it's a light touch. I mean, I'm not scrunching down on this. Okay? I mean, I know I say that over and over and over. You start getting a waxy buildup, you won't be able to blend. It just, you'll be putting a layer, just kind of like I showed you on the wet paint. You have to have dry paint to layer, wet paint to blend. If you start getting this all waxy, it's just going to put a coat of whatever that next color is. In other words, if I get this all really waxy and harsh, when I go to put tan on it, it's just going to put a flat coat of tan. You don't want a flat coat. You want blending. So you have to be gentle. You have to be real gentle. It's just better to take your time and do, 20 soft layers than 3 harsh ones, which, when like we're doing our color book pages, you don't have to really, worry so much about lots and lots and layers. You can, but you're taking a lot of time for a small something something like those little fairies. I'd rather spend more of my time on something like this. If I'm going to spend a lot of blendy time, a lot of, a lot of drawing time, I'd rather it be on something like this. Not that there's anything wrong with the color books or nothing like that. And her finger, she's pushing her lip to the side a little bit. Not that there's anything wrong with just spending lots of time in your color books, because that's great practice. But, I don't want to spend all my time doing that when I could be doing this. That's just me. Well, I don't know if it's quite as gentle as holding a baby chick, but and it's not so much, I'm holding the pencil lightly, but I'm just not putting a lot of pressure on it, is all I'm saying. That's cute. That's cute, Whippy. Okay, again, I got a little bit of, I can still see a little bit of pencil line there where I kind of divided up her face. Okay, and the other tip, I'm not to that point yet here, but anytime you want to check your drawing to make sure it's looking, all your proportions and everything's right, is to turn your picture upside down and turn the your reference picture upside down and look at everything upside down. You will immediately spot too much pencil right there too. You will immediately spot anything that's off. Some people say to, put it in and I've done it too, look in the mirror with it, put it in the mirror and look at it backwards. But for me, looking at it upside down, it's real obvious, because you're not looking at, say, an eye or a lip. You're looking at a shape. And you can just really tell the difference real quick if you look at it upside down. Plus, I just don't have a mirror in here. You're welcome, Packer Die. Look forward to seeing your new camera stuff when you, Packer Die got her a webcam. Looking forward to seeing how that turns out. Now, her face is very shadowed. Her lip, she's kind of got, her lip is pushed off to the side a little, and I want to make it look like that too. Like her finger is kind of pushing into her lip a little bit. So, again, I don't know how far we'll get today, because I don't like, I want to get a lot of stuff done to show you guys, but I don't want to rush it, And the blending of the skin, that just takes, really does take a long time. I don't want to say hours, but it can, depending on, sometimes when the girls that take, their selfies and stuff, they're very pale, like you don't see a lot of color. But I try to put as much of the color in their flesh tones as I possibly can. So I just kind of want to get my map here. A little bit too much pencil around her nose. Don't want to harsh. I try not to get too dark with the pencil. I try to sketch as light as, I can, so I'm not got a lot of things to erase. right, let me back her up a little. But we'll see if we can at least get the most of her features in and maybe a little bit of her skin. Okay, sip of coffee. All right, let's go down here and kind of get her hands. Okay, round of nails here. And right under, like right in here, there's a little bit of her shirt. I don't want to forget to put that little bit of shirt in those between her fingers there. Make sure it comes up here. Meets. So what's everybody else doing this week or today or lately? I got a little pencil, something there. I don't know how far I'll go down with her hand here. Sometimes when you're drawing hands up close to the face like this, if you're not careful, it looks like their hands are extra big because you don't see how it's where they're going, and it just makes them look really big. And I don't want her to look like she has huge hands, but they are closer to the camera. But it makes them look like they're big, even though they're not. So kind of like that for now. Okay, sharpen. Oh, okay, Whippy, yeah. And then her thumb is back there a little bit. You can see a little bit of a thumb peeking out behind there. I'm just trying to block it in. Hang on, guys. Hey, I'm streaming. Can I call you back? Oh, go ahead. Uh-huh. Aw, that was nice. Thanks, honey. Tell them I take commissions. All right. All right, honey. Bye. Hubster was just saying that he, one of his, an insurance guy came in and at the office and saw some of my drawings that Hubster had printed out, had sit on his desk, and so he told him my web, where to go on my blog or my Instagram and all that. And so I said, well, make sure you tell him I take commissions. Oh, yes, you do need to start a scroll. Creative Lammy. It's because they're so cheap. Somebody's asking me about the scrolls, and all it is a roll of craft paper, shipping paper, and you can make a scroll, an art scroll out of it. And that's what I'm using to draw my animals here. I mean, I draw other things too. But you know what, guys? I really, really had fun pulling the prompts out of the jar and just trying to make something with whatever I pulled from the prompts. That was really fun. I enjoyed that. We'll have to do that again. Okay, I think her head needs to be a little thinner. Let me get a little right here. I've got her forehead a little thick. Needs to come in just a little. And again, a good way to check is turn it upside down. And if I don't want her hand to be too, I mean, I don't want it to look like she has big hands when she doesn't. So I think I'm going to bring her hair in a little bit more too, just to make it look a little, because I'm going to, photograph it to here. So just a little bit of her hand peeking in is all I need. So I just bring her hair a little over that way. Yeah, did you watch was it last night or the night before? Did she finish that, Carrie? I didn't get to go to the night show. I went and saw, I think it was, I don't even remember what day it was, for goodness sake. Was it yesterday morning or the day before morning when she got up to part 4? I don't know if she's still here. I don't see her, but anyway. Yeah, we don't want man hands. Yeah. I remember it. The girl on Seinfeld with the man hand. Yeah, we don't want that. Anyway, so I didn't get to see if she got past part 4. Okay, well maybe yeah, because I know that I didn't make it to the night part. All right, let's see here. What I want to do next. I think I'll put she has very, very, very pink, hot pink lips. But again, I'm going to put just a little tiny bit of white so that it just kind of picks up a little bit nicer pink. And I don't really have any rhyme or reason to where I go on the next part of the face. Sometimes it's a lip, sometimes it's the eye. I just, whatever. And I need a little pink there because the top of her lip is lighter. So then I'm just going to put a little base coat of pink. There's some darker right in the little bow of her lip there and stuff, but I'm just going to get a little base coat going. Kind of find my way. And again, she's kind of pushing on her lip. Okay, I got too much pencil. I don't want to have to fight graphite with color pencil. Lots of just gentle layers. Yeah, I met Sarah. Where did I meet you, Sarah? Was it on Instagram? Can't remember. Sarah draws really well. Sarah, if you want, don't make me make you put your Instagram or anything in the chat. But if you want to show everybody your work and stuff. Okay, I think I'll just leave that for a second. I need a little bit more sharpness right on that lip there. Okay. Yeah, I like the little pushed up lip too, Vicki. All right. Let me go ahead, and she kind of has like a sepia color with brown. Make sure I get, yeah, terracotta eyebrows. Now again, you got to be careful in how much dark stuff you put on before you finish up the skin tones. I kind of go a little bit out of order when I'm doing streams because I want y'all to see more of the face than it's going to be possible. If I did all the skin tone first, that would be a whole show. If I did just the skin before I did anything else, that's all you would see me do, is just the skin. And that's just not very interesting to watch, you know. So I kind of break my own rules when I say don't put darker colors until you get your skin tone. But I will be very careful when I'm going around those areas. Okay, I can start putting a little bit of, and I usually use a sepia or this is terracotta. It's nice for, like, you know, where I can find the shadows pretty easily. Don't go crazy. Don't push down. Don't make a dark line. Okay, I just want to kind of find her eyes there. And she does have, let me go ahead and put it in. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. She does have, you can see the rim. I'm going to have to turn it sideways to get in there. She does have you can see the rim in her eye. So I want to kind of get that in there so I don't lose it, because it's not white, it's tan. I mean, it's skin color, but if I don't put some white on there now, it'll get lost. That little bit of eye rim. So a lot of it will have makeup and covered up and stuff like that, but it's still there. All right. Okay, so she has, oh, let me go ahead and finish that real quick. Kind of just indicating where her eye is. I want to get her pupils in because, you know, so people don't freak out. She has a lot of makeup, and so a lot of this that I'm doing now is just really for me to find the eyes, but it's like heavily, you know, a lot of black eyeliner, eyelashes, and her eyelids are kind of like a fluorescent blue. All right, so let me just kind of start getting a little bit of the shadow right under the eye there, just so I don't lose it, lose that spot. All right, let's go find her nostrils. And again, she has a nose ring in. There's her nostril, there's her nose ring. Let me make sure I get that in there. And just a touch indication of the lip line there in the corner of her mouth. Same for this side. A little bit of dark right there. Okay. So now I think I'm going to find a couple colors for her eyes and her. So I know I want a gray blue. and a gray. Let's see, do I want, no, not that color. So this, sorry guys, I bumped the camera again. And I'm just staring at her eyes, and they're very light gray and a little bit of this blue, maybe a touch of her eyeline. I mean, her eye. I'm trying to kind of see what her. It's kind of an iridescent eyeshadow. It's almost could have an undercoat of peacock blue, I think. All right, let me sharpen these colors because I want to get her eyes in. Hey, Fran. Anybody else popping in there? Thanks, everybody, for being here. So I'll tell you the colors I picked, and I can't promise you that they're going to be the only ones or, you know, even the ones. But these are the ones I kind of see in her eyes. All right, so I've got the blue slates, like a blue-gray. This is, gosh, I need my, where's my, can't see the color. Beige. I can't read it, it's in gold. It's hard to see on the light colors. Then this is French gray, 70%, and this is peacock blue, which I need to sharpen a little bit more. All right, and that broke again. All right. Alrighty. All right. Oh, before I did that, I wanted to kind of block in her hands here. And again, I'm doing that with the terracotta. Just kind of where the shadow of her hands would be there. Just barely touching the pavements, just to indicate. And again, trying to keep her hands from getting huge. And then this is the shadow. Her neck is all in shadow. Let me get her chin so y'all can start to see a little. And then right back in here, it's really dark. Get right back along the hairline there. Blend it out a little. Very light. And sometimes I'll start with the, you know, a darker color in the shadow. Sometimes I'll put a coat of the lighter. You can see a little bit of her neck back there, and then a little bit of hair kind of in the shadow there. Just a little bit back in there. And again, when I go to do, she has all these little, well, let me make sure I get all my pencil sketch lines gone. She has all these little flyaway hairs that I'll put in with pencil. Now, I don't mean I have to put in every single hair, but you can, you know, essence of flyaway hair. Just so you can kind of see, you know, some flyaway hairs there. And then you can also just kind of, a little softly, if you want to kind of fuzz it up on the edges, something like that. And same for down here on her shirt. She'll have a few little essence of flyaway hairs. All right, let's get back to work. And again, I don't know, her picture's cut off right there. That's where the photograph ends. So I can either make it up, I can just put some white hair up there, or I'll just photograph it at this. I'll just cut it off in my own, crop it off in my own photograph, you know, because it doesn't, I can't see up there. So I can either make it up, which that's fine too, or just, you know, crop it off when I take the picture. All right, so sip of coffee. If you have any questions, put them in caps. All right. Again, I think this hand, I want to make her, that finger looks really thick. Make her a cone head. Y'all bad, Vicki. All right, so now let me get over here to her eyes and start blocking her eyes so y'all don't, you know, say she looks weird here. And I like to take my time. I don't like to rush. Because like I said, I'm one to enjoy the process. Let me sharpen my... I want to try to get as much of the eyes done first. It gives them gives them their life once you see them. And it looks like her pupil, for whatever reason, it's like it's square. I don't know if that's something in some kind of a photo app, and I don't mean sketchy app, I mean some kind of a photo something where you make your pupils look square. I'm sure there's something like that. There's probably a gazillion kinds of things, or if it's just the reflection of a camera, but her pupil is square or rectangular. And I'm going to make it that way too. I mean, there's a highlight across it, but you can see it's rectangular, which is kind of odd, you know, because people's pupils are usually a dot or round. So I don't know what's making her pupils square, but I'm going to make them square too. And again, I'm going up here with some black, which I don't recommend you doing at this point, but I want y'all to be able to see her eye. Go back over here with the gray. Yeah, see, her pupils are kind of rectangular. And I just take my time. I mean, I can't really stress that enough. Taking your time. And I just don't know what color. It's not really a peacock blue. It's almost silvery. Let me go ahead and put a little bit of white on top. I don't really want to use silver. I don't like to use metallic pencils if I don't have to, because it puts a shine, and I don't like a shine on my art. But because it's a, you know, that's what it is. It's a shiny makeup. I mean sparkly makeup. Don't make me stickle it, Happy Dye. Don't make me put stickles. So I'm kind of looking at it. It's not really peacock blue. It's almost silver, but I'm going to, let's just see here. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to start blocking it in. I might have to put a couple layers of blue, but I just want to kind of find it. It's just a touch of kind of a blue in there, but it's not much. It's, her eyes are more gray than her makeup. Her makeup is very blue, and her eyes have more gray. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not going to put stickles. Okay, so again, I will put some acrylic highlight paint in her eyes on where it's really, really white. You know, the brightest highlight in her pupil. But I got to get everything else. That's like the last thing, unless I just got to, if I put the white highlight on the pupil and it's too big or something, you can kind of go back in with the eye color and make it smaller. All right, so let's see here. Nope, I need kind of a dark. Let's see, is this dark brown? Nope, that's violet. So you gotta check your colors. I thought I was picking up dark brown. It was violet. Sorry, I bumped my head on the camera. This is a new dark brown. Let me just make sure it's sharpened. I got a new dark brown. We'll use it so I don't get it confused with the violet. Same thing for indigo and black. It's easy to get those mixed up too. Hope y'all can see. I don't know. You know, maybe I should have done the camera on the table, on the tripod, little tripod real close. We can still try that. Let me try to zoom in one here. Let's give it a little bit something else. Now I got to try to get it to re-autofocus though. That's always the tough part, getting it to refocus. See, I lost the focus. I lost the focus. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and try that, guys. Let me back out again. Hang on. We're going to play here for a minute. We're going to back out. Let me put the autofocus on just for a minute again. Let's see if I can get it back. When you zoom in, you lose the focus. It just doesn't, see, I can't reach over there. Let me move my mouse here. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, now, see, I lost it again. Oh my gosh. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and do the camera angle where I'm gonna take it off and kind of do it this way, and so y'all can kind of see some more detail, okay? Because we're already at 1 hour and 15 minutes, so I got an hour or so. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna cover up the camera. And I'm going to readjust the tripod right here, and we're going to just test that out. See what happens. Okay, let me move the iPad. Let's see what I can do here. All right, so we're going to give it a try. So hang on. I'm going to cover it up so nobody gets, you know, crazy. All right, so hang on. Take it off the stick. Whoops. Let me move that. Hang on, guys. All right. Let me move my tripod stick out of the way. All right, so now I got to make sure I'm not upside down. Hang on. Okay, there we go. All right. Now look away if you're one to get, you know, dizzy or something, because I'm going to have to, let's see here. Got a glare. I'm going to try to set it up on my little tripod here, close up, so y'all can see. Come on, let's fix that. See if I can just kind of like get it right. I'm going to get it right up on. It's going to look a little distorted, I think. Let's see. One moment. All right, look away, look away. I'm going to stretch the camera out. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, maybe I could put it over here a little. I'm just trying to get it so y'all can see some detail, some close-up, you know? What do y'all think? Don't get dizzy. Don't yell at me. Don't email me. Maybe if I prop her up a little. Whoop, sorry. Yeah. I'm trying, guys. Just give me a second. Look away if you're one to get dizzy. That's all I got to say. I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to work it so y'all can really see some detail. You can try it for a while. Yeah. All right. Let's see what we can do here. All right. I'm just going to leave it right here for a minute. Just while I do her eyes. Okay. We can put it back up in a minute. All right, well, let me move my iPad back over here. Let's see if we got enough light. It does kind of flash out it looks like I'm dark, you know, it really needs to be like right there. It needs to be right there. I need my other tripod. You know what? Hang on. Wait for it, wait for it. I'm going to get my little bit bigger tripod. I'm going to get the little bit taller one. This one is like just a little tall. Okay, I'm going to cover y'all up again. Let's see, which way do I need it to go? I think it needs to go this way. One moment. Just give me a second. I'm going to play for just a minute. Fix a tripod leg leaning. Not too leany. Okay, I think that might work. Maybe. Okay, I'm going to cover y'all up and then take this tripod, put y'all in, or well, you know what? I think I can just probably pick this one up and wrap it around this one because it's got the gorilla arm. Yeah, now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. I'll just take this gorilla arm and wrap it around the bigger tripod. So now we're a hexapod. Oh, hang on, guys. I'm playing here. I think that might be better. Okay, hang on. Yeah, how's that? How's that look, guys? What do y'all think? Is that a little better? I know it's a little shaky. So I'm still messing with it. There. That's pretty good. Oh, but I got to remember that the volume is like right there. Hexapod, yeah. What do y'all think? Should we try it for a minute? Are we focused? It's hard to tell. Do we need to autofocus again? Maybe. Let's try to autofocus again. I need something to focus it with. Wait a minute. Come on, autofocus. There we go. Let me find my card. There. It focuses well on this for whatever reason. You know what I mean, Vern? Okay, there we go. You girls, it all looks good to y'all. Now I just got to remember not to talk too loud. Does it sound like I need to turn the volume down a little? Probably. Let me turn the volume down because I'm going to be like right here. Okay, so let's give this a try. We'll give it a try. I don't know if that's really any better. I mean, it's close, but I don't know that it's really that much better. Maybe. I really wanted y'all to be able to see. You know what I mean? Okay. All right, so let's get back to, I'll just have to talk a little quieter. Okay. Oh, but I might need that light back on for me to see. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start by putting a shadow on her iris. So I'm going to be talking real quiet now because I'm like right there. What does Jean say? You like the other view better? Okay. Well, we'll do this for a few minutes. Let me just kind of get right up. Because what I was trying to do, guys, is like get right up on her so you could see more detail. But it's not really helping, is it? It's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same. And now I got a shadow. Okay. I'm trying, guys. All right. Should we just go back to the other? We can go back to the other. That's why I have to ask you guys, because I don't know. I can't really tell how well it looks for you guys. You know what I mean, Vern? It was? Okay. Hey, Katsia. All right, then hang on, guys. Just hold on. We're going to go back. I'm going to go back to the other. One moment. Only take me a second. Only take me a second. Just give me a minute. Go back. Let's go this way. Bring back the tripod. Oh. All right. Let's make sure she's not upside down. Oh, she's upside down. Okay, hang on. Gotta go this way. Hey, just never know what's going to happen here, right? All right, now. Clamp up my. All right. Look away if you're one to get dizzy. Look away. All right, now I'm going to zoom in. Here's my focus card. All right, what do y'all think? I know, that's what I was trying to do. Well, we'll have to play with it another time. All right, hopefully no, we're not focused. Hang on. Good grief. We're not focused. I'm trying to focus while I'm zoomed in and it's not wanting to. It's not wanting to focus. Okay. All right. That's as good as it's going to get today, I think. Let me tilt the camera down just a little. All right. I don't know. I like to try to see if we can improve it, you know. All right, so let's see. Let's go back to a little bit of the blue gray in her eyes now. Now I need some more light. There we go. Start light. Let me sharpen it. Thanks for trying. Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty. So I want to kind of get a gray blue in her eyeshadow. It's a couple of shades of blue. Pencil mark. When I say pencil mark, I mean graphite pencil mark. You can buy a blue gray in off in the store. Blue grays do come in the not every color comes in the where you can buy it individually, but there are some blue grays. All right, so I just want to kind of get a base coat here. And I mean, her eyelashes are like really black and long, but I'll get them in a minute. Got a little bit of glare. Put a little bit of a shadow on her pupil. I mean, on her, yeah, the white part of her eye. A little bit of a shadow, not too much. She has big, the white part of her eyes are real crisp. And again, sometimes you just don't know what kind of filters or what they're using when they're taking their selfies or whatever. But I just go with what I see. All right, I've got to move this down a little, guys. I'm not, for some reason, I'm not able to reach her. I'm too far. Okay, I think I got to move, hang on. I got to move the camera back a little. Have to move it back because I just can't, I'm reaching into the drawing. Know what I mean? I'm like trying to get it up here. Any dots on? I've bought some, Sarah. I'm not a fan. I bought a set not too long ago and I really wasn't a fan of them. I mean, you get what you get what you can, but okay, I need a kind of a base coat of some peacock blue. Her fingernails are like a peacock blue color. I mean, you get what you can afford, and even I use the Prismacolors, but like Kathy Cass and some other ones swear by the Luminesse, the Caran d'Ache Luminesse color pencils, but they're like $5 a pencil. So you gotta go with what you can do. That this fingernail's kind of tucked up under her lip just a little, so you don't see the full fingernail. It's kind of again, just a little at a time. I think that's all the, yeah, those are the only two that you can see polish on. Just putting a little base coat of blue, and it's got a little gray blue on the, for a highlight. Oh, Fred. I wouldn't, I would say, who's this? Why are they making this funny face? I don't want to spend all my time here on the fingernails, but I am kind of intrigued. Oh, broke. That's one of the things about Prismacolor we don't like. Yeah, that happens sometimes. I'm still recording. It hasn't shown that anything stopped for me. Oh, broke again. Hang on, guys. Let's see if this will, nope, it's still broken. I think it's broken all the way through. Hang on, I got pencil shavings and everything all over my desk now. Hang on. Whoop. Let's try it again. So I like my pencils sharp. All right. See if we can get it's right up under her lips. I want to be careful. Okay. All right, let me get my darker gray up here. And it needs a coat of gray in certain areas before I go in there with another coat of blue. Her eye makeup is very dramatic. And she has a little bit more white hair on this side. Hang on. Because you don't see the wing of her eye makeup on this side. Her hair is covering it. So I want to make sure her eye makeup looks correct. Kind of like that. All right, let me get back in the eyes. Like I said, she's got these square pupils and square highlights in her eye. So I don't know what kind of, flash or whatever. But I'll at least want to get her a little bit of makeup on so y'all can see what she looks like. And again, there's going to be a lot more blending. I'm not even touched her skin tones yet. All I do is have her kind of blocked in a little bit. Alright, I need the darker gray and darker gray, darker gray. Here we go. I hope y'all have been kind of just having fun hanging out. Okay, let me get that little square back in there. I'll go ahead and put just a start of a, where's my pokey tool? Or a sharp, sharp brush. Okay, let me not bump the camera. Just putting a little bit of the white dot highlight. Now I'll go back in and sharpen it with the gray. Okay, let that dry a minute. Let me get onto the more of her eyeshadow. I don't know, it's not quite peacock blue, it's not quite, it's more silver. I just don't really want to put silver on her. We'll just go with the peacock blue and a gray over it. To tone it down a little. And get in here with her eyelashes. This eyelid just a tiny. I'm just talking it out, guys. And I'm just doing lots of light coats, not pushing down hard at all. And that way you can keep layering. If you start getting it all waxy, you won't be able to layer. You won't be able to blend. It'll just be piling up. All right, so let's see real quick here now. Let me just get a little bit of peach color right in here, where I'm going to start putting her flesh tone before I put her eye makeup on here. Or her eyebrows, I mean her eyelashes. So I know where I'm going with the skin color. A little bit of shadowing right there in here. Just kind of blend out a little bit here, a little bit here, because it's not white under the little eye line under her eye is not white, it's the flesh color. But I put the white there first so that I can go over it and not lose that line under her eye. Okay, so now let's see here. Let's get a little, all right, here we go. Let's put some makeup on her. Okay, so before I start putting makeup on her, look at her eyes before and after makeup. I need that wing a little bit more wingy. All right. So let's go ahead and start putting her makeup on. I'll show you one eye with and one eye without makeup. A little bit more before I hit it with those eyelashes. It's real light under her eyes, but I still need a little bit of that flesh color to show through. Okay. I'm not looking at chat, guys, so hang on. Just taking it real slow on those eyelashes. Don't want to go crazy. I want them to be just right. So there's what she looks like with and without eye makeup. All right, let me fix her little pupil again. Since I put the highlight in, I got to sharpen it. I got to sharpen that little square pupil in each eye. So I wanted y'all to see something done, you know, rather than just me just blending skin for, you know, a couple hours. Although that can be good too, but it's not very entertaining. All right, let's get these bottom lashes in here. That cat eye wing just right, blend it a little. Okay. Oops. I'm going to turn it over and make sure I like it here in a second. Okay, so you start to see. And again, none of the skin or anything is blended out yet. You can blend it and put a little bit more and being very careful I'm not touching the black. I just want a little bit extra shadow in those corners. Now her eyebrows. And she has a few, just a few little you can just see individual little hairs here and there. No, that's not the color. And then right in the corner again, it's very Thanks, Dana. Just takes a lot of layering, you know. This eye needs to be just a little rounder. I can tell. But if I turn it upside down, I'll really be able to tell. So I'm going to turn it upside down for a minute and turn my iPad over here next to me. Oh, I don't want a flashed out light there, so let's see if I can just kind of... I'm going to look at the shapes of her eyes real carefully here. Make sure I got them round and correct. This needs a little bit more gray. But just looking at it upside down, you can see exactly, not just the shapes and everything, you can see the color, the shading. You can see right where it needs more something. If something's off, it shows right up. It's a little bit more blue-gray in these corners here, her makeup. It's just a little bit more highlight right in here. I'm just going back and forth, looking here, looking there, looking here, looking there. I can see exactly where just a little touch of sienna, a little shadow here, a little line there. It all shows up when you turn it upside down. Her eyebrows are looking good though. I can see a few other stray hairs a little more defined, but I'm gonna kind of go with that. Yeah, it really does matter when you turn it upside down. Okay, let me just take a second to kind of, I can see where I need her lips just a little darker in the crevice there of the lip line. Because she's got her finger pushing on her lip right there. Needs a little flesh color, not just pink, but it's got a little bit of... Oh, it's upside down. Is that Jean? What is it, Jean? I can't, it's upside down on my iPad, your tweet, because I got the iPad upside down. And the corners of the mouth really matter. if you get the corners of the mouth just right, it just, you know, it really is important. A little shadow there. Let me get back to the white, make sure there's. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to keep it upside down for just a minute so I can get a little bit of more of the stark highlights I don't want to lose before I start going in with more peach colors. Right there, right above the eyebrow, right there. And until her skin's blended, she's going to look older. Her skin's not going to look youthful until I get it all blended. Don't lose that nose ring. But it'll take a while to do all the, you know, get it all the skin tones blended. But otherwise, she just looks kind of rough. You know, like her skin's like not smooth until you get it blended in. But I want to make sure I don't lose any of those bright highlights there, because my hand has, you know, been moving on top of it and everything. So it kind of, you know, can kind of fade out the white areas. And right here, she's got like a little there, and on this lip here's a little highlight there. Okay, let me turn her back over. Need just a little bit more pink on her lips. Blend that sienna in that I just put on. Posted a bird flower for me to draw. Okay, thanks, Jean. Okay, so she's going to need some peach. I got to start putting in some, you know, pinker skin, like over the sienna shadows and stuff. I'll start putting a little, just a nice, quiet layer, very quiet layer. Start blending in a little bit of areas. Really, hand here. This finger is a little too fat. It needs to just a little. All right, then this side of her face needs a little bit more peach. Right up where her finger is pushing up into her skin. Kind of blends around that way. I'm just putting the lightest coat down very gently. Very gently. Just kind of picking out some of those areas. Just picking some out. Because she's very pale, but I don't want her to look like she's just like a ghost, you know. I don't want it to have just like a solid white. And again, she's got a nose ring there. I might put that in with some acrylic paint. Let's see here. How we doing on time? 2 hours. Just wanted this a selfie? No. No, it's not a selfie. This is from the Sketchy app group. I'll try to show you the picture without it flashing out my camera, which I'm sure it's going to do, but there she is. See, it wants to flash out. Wait a minute, let me try it again. Sorry, guys. It's not wanting to, it's wanting to flash out. I hope you got a little quick glimpse there. See, now I gotta try to get the color. There we go. Okay, our nose ring. Because I want to make sure it's distinction from her actual nose. So I'll let that kind of dry, and then I'll put a shadow around it too. Thanks, Erica. She's getting there. Again, you know, I can't, I just can't rush it, you know? I mean, I could, but I don't want to, right? Canina. Make sure that I get that right where the nose ring is. And then around her nostril. And then a little bit of her actual nose. And then a little tiny bit of nose ring shadow. So you can still tell it's a nose ring and not just a, you know, part of her nose there. All right. So I gotta fix that nostril going around it. It's too, let's be a little thinner right there. Another layer of lighter peach. And blend in some of that darker peach color I've already put down. Just another layer on top of that, so it's not like pancake makeup. So blend another layer on top of that one. No shadow areas. The line on her face right there needs to be corrected because I got some from her hand right there. Needs to be nice and crisp right there. So y'all any questions or anything, guys? You can see a little bit of her hair in there, behind there. All right, let me kind of see what else I can do on her face here. And when I do, I'm just getting any excess color off. When I, you know, clean off the white to make sure there's no color picked up from something else and moved in to the wrong spot. I'd like to get a little bit of her skin done so y'all can see where it's nice and smooth and not like old lady. Well, I don't mean that in a bad way. Because she's young. I mean, I don't want to make her look like her skin is wrinkly or anything. Just taking my time and just constantly looking at the picture, all the different areas I need to kind of blend out up here. And again, she has kind of almost like some kind of blue or gray. Well, I'm going to put blue because I don't really want to have her have gray hair. But she has like some pink and blue like highlights in her hair. Like, you know, like it's, and oh, I didn't do her braid yet. I was hoping to do the braid for you. And some like, almost like purple, pinky purple color. Kind of lavender color in there. It's like she might have her hair kind of dyed underneath. And that braid is right there too. I wanted to get that in there. Kind of blend in a little. And let's see, where's the, somewhere right in there is where the braid ends. Kind of blend that in a little. Okay, I can go back over where I'm putting this purple and the blue right now. Go back over it with just a couple like fine wispy hairs when I get done with her, so that there's a couple of like wispy, real highlighted, bright white hairs over those little shadowed areas in here. And you probably may not be able to see, it's really subtle in there. And let me kind of mark in where her braids are going to be. It's kind of, just a little bit of subtle braidage in there. She has like a little braid coming down here. Okay. All right, let me go back on her neck here a second. And again, all the skin's going to take, I hate to put a time frame on it, but it'll probably take a couple hours at least. Sharpen up her hand there. And I do want to get a nice crisp line there. I'll probably get a brush out on her hair and get a nice line along her face there. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Trina. Marilyn, anybody else? Just popped in or out? But it takes a long, you know, I say I don't want to rush it, and then I start to kind of rush it, and I don't want to rush it because I really, you know, I like them to turn out nice. So I'm just getting all different shades here of my flesh tones, but I'm using real light colors because her skin's really light. but I still want it all blended out and you be able to see some areas that are really blended out. More highlight there. You see I'm kind of working my way out from from her nose out. I hope you can see a little. And I just kind of work all over the page, all over the face. Get a couple little areas where you can really define or see her eyebrows. Maybe if you could look at it from here, maybe you can kind of see. I'm trying to not have y'all be focused on this skin area until I get to it. See how it's starting to blend in? Starting to blend out, rather. I hope. Okay, she needs a little bit more peach pink right in here. So anyway, guys, got any questions or anything before we go? Hopefully, whoops, no, not purple. Where's my light brown? What do I do with it? I don't know where it went. Thanks, Jean. She's coming along. But again, it does take a lot of, let me get a little, right around her finger here, a little bit of shadow. Right up on this knuckle or this joint area of her finger, around there. Underneath. It's gonna have, where is my dark brown? Oh, it's right there. Hey, Nana. Nana Janet. Okay, I need to, let me turn her upside down one more time. I want to get this edge of her face right. Because remember, the top of her head's not there. So it kind of throws you off a little when you don't have, let me use the purple because there's a purple in her hair. Let me come down here from her eye. There's this is all kind of a purple shadow in there, purple and blue. But with just a touch more dark gray, so I want her braid to be right in there. So kind of see where her cheek line is right, just right there. Go back in here with a little bit of white right along her face there. Get it shaped up just right. There we go, that's better. And this side's in shadow, so it'll be more even darker over on this side. except for that little bit of white hair. Let me just get a couple more strands of hair coming down here. And then her braid. Right in there. I'm going to paint her braid in real quick, upside down. Ah! See what I mean? Got to be careful with the wet paint. Alright, let me just get that wet a little bit there. Got a little bit of paint. That's going to be cut off anyway, because it's going to be chopped off right there. But anyway, you can see her braid. Kind of in there. All right, guys. So I think that's all I got the energy for today, since I've been here since 8:30 on 2 different streams. I'll keep working. Well, not today, because it's already almost 3. So I probably won't work on her until tomorrow. But I'll post her when she's done to Sketchy and to Twitter and all that. See, I got a little bit of paint there. I'm going to have to try to fix that now. Because I still got a lot of skin blending to go. You can kind of see where it needs, where it needs color right in there and right here. I don't know if you can tell on camera. But I just kind of go back and forth between different, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now on her, I've got, and a couple of these probably can't tell the name of them because I've sharpened it off. This one's just peach. Then I have beige. This one is it upside down? Nectar. Then I have a sienna or terracotta, either one, they're close. White and a little bit of gray. And then after I get all that done, I'll probably put a couple of coats of even a lighter yellowy gray. So it's just a layering process. But, and again, you probably don't want to do the eyes and all the makeup until you've done all the skin, because it's real easy to accidentally pick up any of the, black or the makeup when you're trying to get around the, around it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being here. Yeah, kind of, Dana. Dana said he got a $150 pencil portrait workshop for free. And again, I'll probably flip her a few little hairs here and there, because you can't really see the top of her head. And I'll photograph it from here because that's all the face I can see. Her face kind of ends right there. But I'll put in a few more, little wispy, wispy hairs like this. If y'all can see that. It's very subtle. To make it look kind of fuzzy, and on this side too, because this you can't see, her face is cut off right there. Thanks, guys. So again, I'll finish posting her. I'll post her probably to be tomorrow when I finish her. But yeah, so I hope y'all enjoyed it. Thanks for being here. And I'll upload this one. And if y'all missed the journal page, let me find, where did I put it? At the beginning of the show here, our part 1 earlier today, we showed again how to use another kind of one of your color book pages in your art journal, if I can find it. The one I don't want to get on her. Let's see. Where's the wand? Where is it? Where is it? Hang on. We did a little fairy forest. And I can't find it. Where's my... Oh, here. We did this. Showing you how you can take your color book pages and cut them out and then put them in a kind of a journal setting. Oh, great. Did I just stick that in there? White paint. Anyway, guys. Okay, so we'll talk to you later. You're welcome, guys. Thanks. And good to see you, Ketsia. Good to see you. Thanks, guys. Bye.